or just
All
other
of them?
areas of Detroit?
All of them. Just the ones with people, humans, just all of them. The objective, the big picture is, think of it this way, like using this model right now to show it works in Detroit, and show that it actually works. The actual proof. I'm sorry.
Is the idea if it works here, then it'll work?
Right, right. They keep saying it's a horrible place. Then I got all these families. They're like, yes, I'm staying here and I'm paying my taxes because I feel safe because these people make it safe for me. And then you get to look at, like, if you look at the crime maps here in Detroit, which I don't believe in that stuff, it's all fake anyway, but most of it. But if you look at it, there's still these gaping holes. That's where we work. That's where these gaping holes, big pockets of not very much crime at all, and that's us. And then on the outside, it's saturated with criminal activity. And that's just because we're there. So the key is not to go where crime is taking place, but go where people need assistance and stop it from happening, is my point. And imagine take that same philosophy to anywhere in the world. Everyone needs it. So first starting off with all the cities, and then taking it overseas as well. But ultimately, the system has to be one that works, because it works in all languages, by the way. The system has to be one that's replicatable. So I've been working on making it replicatable for 10 years now. So it's about making it easily understood. Everything's in threes. All of our teaching principles are in threes. Everything's simplistic and practical. But now what I've been doing if you look on the internet and you look at our YouTube stuff, you'll see these media stories. That's primarily to show that it actually works in real life. Not that I want to be security in the neighborhoods or the money from that, and that's great, but the real money, first of all, is in education. If you want to talk about money, I make 10 times as much from teaching people as I do from physically going out and protecting. So that's not about the money, but it's about showing that you can actually help protect people's lives. You don't have to do it through violence. It's achievable, right? But you demonstrate it, so we're living it. We're actually showing regular people, real people, living a good quality of life without the concept of violence and force. We haven't had to kill anyone. There's no arrests. I'm proud of that. That we were able to do this without using that philosophy. We get rid of the criminal element by talking to them, literally. It's like, there's no secret. You don't have to yell at them or call them names either. We offer them free bodyguard services when they're hunting. And then we stay near them while they're hunting families, and they simply choose to go away. Imagine that. They don't want bodyguards with them.
Yeah, I'm like,
3 o'clock in the morning.
Okay.
You know, I got this video where I show this one guy. He's in all black. He has a hoodie on, and he's walking, and he's just like his head down. And it's literally very dark where he's at. You can barely see anything. And he's kind of doing the drift where he's trying to act like he's not there. So if you're not looking for a human, you will not see this guy. So I see the guy, pull up to him. I have the phone on. We have hidden cameras. I have a bunch of hidden cameras. We don't use the hidden cameras. We want them to know we're filming, right? So the light's on and everything. Hi, how are you today, young man? It's 3 o'clock in the morning. Listen, anytime you're in the area, you should know this. We have free bodyguard services, okay? Because it's dangerous. There's criminals out here that will rob you. If you see anything strange while you've been out tonight? No, I haven't. Okay, well, if you do, just know we're right in the area, okay? All right, now, we're going to be right behind you, about 50 yards back. If you need any help, you just wave your hand, we'll come and help you. Okay? He's like, okay. Now, we have another thing we can do for you. It's called the it's called the Good Person File. Now, if you give us your ID, we're going to put your name into the Good Person File so all the residents know who you are, so they know you're not a bad guy. The police try to set you up and say you did something wrong, because we can show your ID to show you're a good person. Do you want to be in the Good Person File? He's like, no. Yes. Yes, I do. Like, click, no, you're in the Good Person File. All right. Now no one can set you up, say you did something you didn't do. We'll be right back.
Whoa.
So that 3:30 in the morning hunting has been thwarted without yelling at him. No one heard any cussing. I didn't have to threaten him, right? I didn't have to violate his rights. The ACLU thought we were asking for ID. Like we're walking up to people going, give me your ID. You, ID. We don't do that. We ask if you'd like to render it for a Good Person File, which is a choice. And some people do say no. We go, okay. We don't say, damn it. We just say, okay, you're not going to give it to us. That's fine. You don't have to give us anything. Someone says, get away from me. You know what we do? We get away from them. I don't want to talk to you. You know what we do? We don't talk to them. It's very easy. We can shut up. It's easy. You don't have to force people to do anything. If they say screw you, we go, oh, not really okay, but we're just going to leave. Right? So if they call you names, you just simply move on. You don't need them, and this is one of the things I have to teach, when I bring people on my program. We don't need that person to respect us. We just need to respect them. We respect ourselves. We respect them. We don't need they don't need them to capitulate to us to show our validation. You're already valid. That's one of the things I teach my personnel. You're valid already. You don't need anyone in order to make you valid. So you don't validate yourself off of someone else's pain and suffering or capitulation. You just are a positive person. If they need your help, they're not going to say screw you. If they say screw you, get away from me, that means they don't need your help. So you're good. What are you here to do? You're here to help. So someone cusses you out, like I went across the street here. There's this guy, literally right across the street, with a Suzuki Samurai. This is like 2 years ago. I didn't even know those things even ran anymore.
Yeah.
And he looks like a rock star from the 80s. And he has a gigantic dog in the car. It's taking up the whole half of the car, like an American bulldog. And he's kicking the weeds around. I was like, man, I hope he's not looking for us to drop a body or something over there. Let me just go talk to him really quick. Don't drop a body over here, right? Because he's just doing something weird. He's looking around. So I drove up to him and said, hey, how's it going? This guy cussed me out, called me every name in the book, told me to get away from him. I can't do anything to him. Shut your mouth. You're nothing. He called me every name in the book. And at the end, I just said, yes, sir, I understand. Have a good day. And he was like, ah, and then he drove away and took off. We use it as a teaching video. This guy called me names for straight 3 minutes. It just, no air between, just, you bastard, you motherfucker. You. I mean, from hello, how are you? Oh, fucking talk to me, motherfucker. I was like, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I understand, sir. Yes. Yes, sir. What? Fuck you. I understand. What do you understand? Whew. Have a good day. You have a good day. Fuck you. And he drove away. That's it.
Cool.
There's no part where I have to call him names back. I don't have to chase him, right? What was my objective? To make sure he's not dropping off any dead bodies. I'm looking in the car, any dead bodies there, right? I didn't have to invade him. I didn't go yell at him. I didn't have to call him names back. I got the point across, and he left. And that's it. So my point is, you can be positive and still create a positive environment. And we're living that. And so the thing is, we are getting positive feedback since you two have interviewed us. Prior to that, we were having some challenges. I had to disconnect everything.
How many interviews have you done? Because I've seen the one with Pete, I've seen the one with Katie. How much more?
I did some with Group Raj on some of the local, newspaper
Okay.
news here on Channel 2 and Channel 4. But over usually about subjects. Like one was on Trayvon Martin. People didn't like that one. And then I knew he was gonna get free. And they didn't like that. But no, of course, a certain segment knew that was going to happen, because I know their thought process. And then they want to talk about how, community security people shouldn't be doing that. True. That guy was just a guy with a gun. That was not any kind of community security.
He was a wannabe cop.
Yeah, exactly.
Kind of
Exactly.
explains it.
So now he's self-validated, right? Subconsciously, he wanted to validate himself, to make himself a man. He did. He got to kill a boy. And that was his point. See, he did subconsciously, in order for him to validate, he has to shoot and kill someone. One of the things that regular people don't know, that are not into that stuff, that regular people feel valid about their other life, children, going to school, having a job. This other kind of man who feels, or woman feels, that they're not valid, can only validate themselves to the suffering of another person. And it doesn't seem natural to you, because you're not that kind of person. So it's foreign to you. But to this person, it's foreign that you would be a square person and not want to dominate absolutely another human to validate yourself. And these individuals who do that identify with Zimmerman, and Zimmerman's philosophy is shared. It's a standardized philosophy. One of the things that happens is women will ask, and kids will ask, men who carry guns, and women who carry guns will say, how many people have you shot? That's like the most important question. How many people have you killed? So now you're a man, you're a woman, your rites of passage is based on what validates you, and you can't say you shot anyone. You got all dressed up for the party, and there's no party. You got gun, bullet, nothing to do with it. Which is 9 out of 10 police officers in America. 9 out of 10 never ever use their gun. Right? So something happened. There's some kind of transition. Now that everyone wants to use their gun. This is how you psychologically prove your value, and it's your rites of passage. So what we have to do is be very careful not to put people in that position to validate themselves off of blood of other human beings. So it's all psychology. It comes back to psychology.
Have you ever done anything to psychologically intervene to stop violence that was done by the police against people?
Oh yeah, constantly.
And while it was
Physically,
going
what
on?
I do is I'll get physical. I'll go in there and yeah, because one normally it's some soft target too. So because when we get there, men will become passive. Just as approaching, the men just go okay. So, but you know, there've been several situations where I've had to physically intervene. Like one was a female, and the officers actually were hitting on the girl. She had been threatening to kill us for about an hour and a half. She's really pretty, and she couldn't get in the nightclub. She's out of control. So she's threatening to kill us. We're gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill you. This is like an hour and a half. So we're used to that. It's not a big deal. Police officer comes up. It's like, oh, she's really pretty. So he used that as his entrance. Like, oh, security made you mad. Let me talk to you for a minute. What happened? What's security do? And so she's trying to tell him I'm connected. She was telling us that too. I meant to tell the officer.
Connected to what?
The power structure. You gotta know your politics. So she's connected. So you really want to be careful about your connections to your. That's also political connections are vital. So they weren't paying attention. Anyway, he's hitting on the girl, and finally she's like, I don't even like cops. I don't date cops. And now she's humiliating him. There's lots of witnesses, and she won't shut up. And he's like, all right, that's it. Now, fine, you don't like me, you don't like my number, or whatever. Now she's taking it too far, and he's getting upset. And he told her, he said, that's it, stop. I'm taking you in. And she goes, you take me in, you're gonna regret it. He should have listened. But make a long story short, the fight ensued. She is, by the way, did I mention she's this big? She's about 100 pounds. She talks like she's 10 feet tall, but she is literally this big. And she's really, really pretty. And she is armed with a purse. So the officer comes up, tries to grab her. She smashes him with the purse, which is technically an FA unless you're her, because she's politically connected. So then they start treating her like some street person that they would like to beat up. And it doesn't go well. She is really fighting back. She knocks one to the ground, kicks his shit out. And I was like, okay, I'm not involved in that. We're over here. Those officers are getting hurt right now. So then they try to get her up, and they try to put handcuffs on her. She slips her hands out, flails the handcuff. They try to get her arms again. This time I come over, I pull her arms in, so before they start smashing her on the ground, because that's what's going to happen next. Next, they're going to lose all of their, because they're getting humiliated now. So now the next thing they're going to do is they're going to start stomping her. So I come over, I go, okay, hold on. I get her elbows in, and then they finally put the handcuffs on properly. I show them how to hold the elbows instead of trying to manhandle her. And then she can't wiggle out, and then she goes in the car, and now it's over. Those two officers almost lost their job over the next 3 months. They were called in to the captains and the chief's office. Now they don't do anything.
She Monica Lewinsky or something?
No, she's somebody's a cousin, niece. You know, I don't know. You gotta watch that. In the city, a lot of people have relatives. Well, in towns too, the people are related, and when that's their cousin, they don't care what they did. You know, that's why you want to really. Peace is really important for many reasons, political included. So imagine they wouldn't wrestle this niece, they wouldn't have been in so much trouble. They were in a situation where they had one more strike and they would lose their jobs. So every time we saw these officers again, they were always like this. They would never say anything to anyone. They don't do anything. That's what happens to officers too. They get in trouble. They just back off from helping people. They don't get involved anymore. They act like nothing matters now, and they find a way to not do anything. But big picture, imagine Red Cross. They hand out blood and blankets, and they stop doing that whenever there's a threat, right? But what if there was an organization that both trained the Red Cross workers and had a support staff that would go into Haiti or wherever immediately, but they're trained for threat management? Meaning if they had to keep these people from blocking this door, they don't come over with the guns and hit the people. They can move the people without hurting them. They can keep them from getting onto the helicopter and pulling it down without shooting them. And that's part of our training, how to move people, how to control people without hurting them. But imagine being able to do that under those conditions so they can still hand out the blood and blankets and the water and everything else. But when we went down to Hurricane Katrina, if you look on our website, you'll see we went down to the first weekend. One of my guys called up, and this is a proud moment for me. It's one thing for me to think about all these great things we can do, but when one of my staff members thinks of a great thing that helps people, that's when I'm really moved by that. And here's a guy who grew up in Upper Michigan somewhere, who thought, my God, we need to go to New Orleans because these families need help. And this guy had a rough upbringing. He had a very, very rough background. He was not in any way well taken care of as a youth, and he internally felt for families thousands of miles away. We should go help them. And within 48 hours, we were in New Orleans from the time of that phone call. I donated thousands of my personal money, and my clients gave us food and water, some grocery stores. Another client gave us a few $1,000s for some gas. And then we were very, very lucky because you're not supposed to have a bunch of fuel in cans. You can blow up. Lucky.
We're not making them anymore.
Yeah, we were lucky. But we took boats down there. We actually went out and we actually ended up deploying with the sheriffs down there and with the Navy. And what was interesting is the SEAL team Master Chief that organized things for them actually came up to me and asked if we would help them get their Zodiacs over the levee using my Hummer with a trailer for the boats. And I was like, first of all, don't SEAL team guys just grab their own boats and run over things? But then my first thing was, wait a minute, what's the SEAL team doing here? These are families, they need water.
Right.
They need water, sir. What are you doing with the SEAL team? And they put us in a secret like SEAL team base on the side of Mississippi somewhere. I'm sure there's no records of that. But I thought it was interesting that the SEAL team was out there in the wee hours of the morning doing something. That's all I can tell you for sure. And what we were there for was families, how to help people that need help. And I had told them that too. They were like, so where are you guys from? Detroit Threat Management Center? What are you guys? Oh, we're here to help people. They were like, "Hey, help the police." No, we're here to help people. Did I just say people? Did I just say people? How come I say people? You say government? You know, because the government was. By the way, the guy. You guys remember the guy on Fox News was yelling? He was like, "You can go in there. You can go in there."
Yeah.
And he's calm now, but he was excited. I thought he was going to quit Fox News. That guy. He was yelling. I was actually proud of that guy. He was like, "You can drive in. You can go." I swear you could. We just drove right in. Yeah, you just drive. There was a bridge. It was fine. Just go in there, and the families were there. They were lying. You could just literally drive in there. So
You couldn't. You know, there was no much sense. How are they going to stop you from getting there?
yeah, well, they said there was no bridges. It was all knocked down. Most of them were, but there were two ways to get in there, and we just drove right in. There was no, going over off road or anything. Just drive right into where the people were.
SEALs were most likely practicing.
I'm sure that's
Intel gathering and
Yes.
stuff like that.
Yes, and I can tell you right now, the gang members were smart in their situation. They took, we came across some gang members, and they were like, yeah, we're just sitting here. It's 104 degrees, and you have no water, and you're just sitting here. They're robbing. That's their point. And then I was with these military guys. They're like kids, and they're talking to them. They're like, they have automatic rifles with no bullets, and they're talking. They're like, "Do you need help, sir?" And these criminals were looking at them, going, "Yeah, we need some help around here." They were looking at their guns, and I guarantee you, if we were not there, those kids would have got their guns taken. These were men, prisoners that were released probably from the jail, and I could tell these were really serious criminals, and they were happy when they saw these little kids get off little boats. By the way, our soldiers are little kids. They're not like in the movies. They're like 18-year-old kids with big rifles walking around, and here's these criminals on the bridge down there. And that's my point is, what if there was an organization who was trained to use psychology, understand law, and skills on how to keep people safe? They could go out just like the Red Cross and help people where they need help. But they're not trained specifically for blood and blankets, they're here for physical safety. So now you're not dependent upon the local constabularies to decide when it's safe and when it's not safe, because you can do it yourself. You can create your own safety. Because they're about, like for example in New Orleans, they were thinking about all the sneakers that had the green stuff liquid. By the way, there is no way you can sell anything that water got on. But that was their main thing, looting stuff that has that green water on there. That is horrific. There was nothing you could sell down there. The smell of that water, whatever televisions, you should just give it all away, because there's no way you could physically sell that legally anywhere. And they were actually having shootouts over people raiding, this contaminated stuff. So my thing is, what if there was a group that didn't care about looting, just cared about family safety? Then we could have said something like, whatever you do not separate children from their parents. You cannot separate children from their parents. Whatever National Guard jackass thought of that should be put in prison. You can't put children on a bus without a guardian. And they did, and thousands of kids came missing.
Wow.
They were all over the place. They were literally all over the nation. And then all the stories about rapes and everything. That stuff was true. They just don't want to talk about it. And whose job is it to keep those things from happening? There was no entity. So my objective is to have an organization that is specifically trained and designated with individuals trained in those areas to go to the situation and physically assist with the physical safety of the people, right? Not the enforcement of laws under extreme conditions of emergency conditions like lights went out or whatever your situation is. There should be someone there for family safety. And there isn't. There is not one entity. When there's a power failure, when there's a serious environmental issue, there's no one there for physical people safety. It's for infrastructure safety. You know, businesses, utilities, government buildings, but there's nothing for the people.
Government
Government
buildings.
buildings.
Yeah.
Buildings.
Oh yeah, they got some terrible stories they don't talk about down there with the corporations too. The corporations take care of their own, so there needs to be physical safety for regular people. Yes.
So how do you see like your